See, Judah. Huh? हाँ कर दे रहे माथू चाहिए
ઓકે, આપણે લાઈવ છીએ. સ્ટાર્ટ કરવું છે રાજનભાઈ?
yeah I'm ready.
Is everyone able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Summer?
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah.
After reaching Nadir, existence lifts the prohibition on the divine fragments, forbidding any attempt to make the return journey back home to the source. The divine fragments, due to inbuilt ability to return to the source, can make the journey home immediately. But as per the last rule of the game of existence, they have to redeem all bodies and respective thinking instruments of all the previous births that were degenerated on the downward arc.
Right. So this we have done, and this was very eye-opening. I think, in the sense that he cannot do anything now to reach Nadir. He has to commit so many what do you call acts of attrition, the divine fragment. Otherwise, he's not able to reach Nadir. Then the what do you call existence brings him to stage 4 in Bhu, but the loan that he took, the acts of commission and attrition which he had done, they all have to be redeemed before he can even step further. So this is one of the reasons why we see why Gurdjieff has placed so much of emphasis on what do you call non-expression of negative emotion. Because unless redemption is done, you cannot go forward. Yeah.
So to restore bodies and minds of the three universes back to their original condition, their ability to respond to and cooperate with divine fragments is expressly necessary.
Right. So for their progress, right, there must be a communication with the divine fragment. But as long as they have not redeemed, then they are not in their original condition. ज्यों की त्यों धरी दिन each other. Yeah. They're not in their original condition.
But the root cause of the whole problem is that divine fragments could if bodies and mind would.
Yeah. So body and minds have to be purified, have to be redeemed. Only then the divine fragments can.
Once the magic of the soul, the divine fragment, is grasped by the personality, mind, and body, the soul steadily dominates and can be trusted to carry forward the training of the man to fruition.
Yeah, then the soul is eternal. So in one life also, if we have reached a certain state, the soul will take us ahead in the next life. But the body and mind have to cooperate with the soul. They have to communicate with the soul.
And not until each cell within his body is fully alive and vibrating to a uniform measure, rhythm, will he, the personality, be fully grown and perfected.
See, the cells are animal cells, and those cells have to be cleaned. Right? We may intellectually understand that we don't want to react, but we are reacting all the time because the cells are forcing us. The momentum of the cells is forcing us to react. And those cells have to be, what do you call, cleaned. And the safest way, the best way to clean them is through giving them a rhythm. As soon as all the cells of the body start vibrating in a 3-step rhythmic rhythm, then we have already redeemed, because now we cannot express any negative emotion.
This is possible only with three-step rhythmic breathing. The establishment of rhythm in thinking and in breathing allows for all possible progress and for establishment of communication between the two bodies and the two thinking instruments.
Thinking and breathing, and through breathing in prana. Attention and prana, they are sort of, what do you call, inseparable brothers. Wherever attention goes, prana follows, and wherever prana goes, attention follows. So the minute, what do you call, rhythm comes into the prana, and this, we have to work on this three-step rhythmic breathing. We keep working upon it. Then the rhythm comes into attention. Then, like we are breathing out and we are breathing in, attention also will go start moving out in rhythm and coming in rhythm. And this will be the beginning of inner observation and what do you call, the attention has moved in what Patanjali calls as pratyak chetana, the attention moving in. And when attention starts moving in, Patanjali uses the word adhigama. It jumps over all the obstacles, all the obstacles, right? So this is very important for everyone in the sense that I may be facing obstacles in my normal life, in my material life also. But the minute attention starts moving in it, we do away with the obstacles, we jump over the obstacles, right? So the three-step rhythmic breathing is the most important practice. There's no practice as important as three-step rhythmic breathing, right? And a lot of people, they call me and they say, I'm doing this meditation and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And they don't understand the value of three-step rhythmic breathing. The more you establish the three-step rhythmic breathing, the more the cells will start vibrating in rhythm, the more the prana will come into rhythm, the more the attention will come into rhythm, right? And it will be so, what do you call, spontaneous, the whole effort, that no amount of meditation can make it so spontaneous. So it's very, very important to put your life on the, what do you call, on the deal and practice the three-step rhythmic breathing. It's nothing is more important than that.
If there be a way out of existence into the eternal realms of creation, no other external guru or teacher will be able to take the disciple by the hand. Only the true transcendental teacher, Ishvara, the divine fragment within each one of us, for only that has come from beyond the ring past knot with inbuilt ability to return to the source creation.
So that in the outer guru and that within us is the same, right? So if we become too attached to the outer guru, then we are not looking at that. And the outer guru has to point the finger at that, show us the way to that, right? And that is within us, right? And it is the same within everyone. My that is not different from your that, right? So, so the guru's that is not different from what do you call my that, right? So there is the play of life where you what do you call, have a what do you call, a relationship with the guru, and sometimes the relationship can be very, very loving and very caring, but still beyond all that relationship is that, and that the guru and you have come together for that, right? So you enjoy the relationship, you go through the relationship, but always remember the aim is that, and that is relying that which is in the guru is the same that which is within us. Right? Is that it?
Yeah, that's all for synopsis.
Very good. Do send me a copy if you can. Thank you for
Yes,
sending me last time. Thank you.
yeah, so we'll send.
The only thing is Really now, somehow I'm finding it very difficult to work on everything at the same time.
Rajan uncle, there is one question on upward and this downward arc movement,
Yeah, please.
See, as there is a borrowing which is happening for negativity to go up to Nadir, and then from there the nature pulls up to stage 4, and then we have to redeem the negativity and all those emotions and make the body and soul clean to move further. Now, how do we understand whether we are in a downward arc? Because see, for both the junctions, theoretically, just trying to understand, the stage 4 is common, whether you are on a downward arc or you are on upward arc. So how do we understand that we are in a downward arc or an upward arc?
So this we have to take it from Mr. Tavaria that most of humanity is on the upward arc just now. Right?
Okay.
So we have to take it. Now, the second thing is the fact that we are looking for the divine fragment, right?
Right.
Says that we are on the upward arc.
Right.
But there are many gurus who will say that I am the divine fragment. You worship me. You don't have to do anything else.
Right.
They are on the downward arc.
Okay.
They are not able to recognize that the divine fragment in us is the same as the divine fragment in him. So the divine fragment still wants to reach Nadir. So he's coming off as the Abhiman, what we call.
Right.
I am God.
Right.
We meet a lot of people on the downward arc.
Right.
But they are usually at a much higher stage than what we are, but they are on the downward arc.
Right. Thank you.
Sir, another question, just a curiosity. It was written that once the body dies, the divine fragment goes into the causal body in the Mahakal.
Yeah.
But where does the soul goes? It just wanders, or it goes to the minor ring past knot of the womb?
So the soul, first of all, it goes with the divine fragment up to the we won't say Mahakal, let us say last stage of Swaha. Okay? Just for practical purposes. Right? And from there it falls into Bhuva. Right? So, and then it remains for some time in Bhuva and then takes another body. At the time of the child screaming, the divine fragment comes from the higher stage and it enters between Mooladhara and Swadhisthana, and it lights a spark of life over there. That spark of life we call as Sushumna. Yeah. So the soul just now follows the divine fragment up to the seventh stage of Swaha. And when it comes down into Bhuva, it comes down in a bouncing effect.
Okay.
So it falls, goes back, has darshan of the divine fragment, again falls, goes back, has darshan of the divine fragment. But each time the darshan is different, and then it comes into Swaha, and then it goes through a long dream period. But if the soul has achieved a certain state of consciousness, then it will leave the divine fragment and remain in the higher realms of Swaha till the next birth. So it will remain in light till the next birth. But that next birth could be 1,000, 1,500 years. Like Mr. Tavaria said, I'll come after 1,500 years.
Yeah, the few and great ones.
Huh? Yeah.
The few great ones.
Yeah, the few, what do you call? Elite.
Elite class. And sir, another thing, that 3SRB, you always recommend to do it for 1 hour in total in a day. So, but in other books of Sahib, it's written that slowly you make it at 8 hour or something of that. So can we slowly increase 3SRB, or we should keep it at 1 hour only?
No, consciously not more than 1 hour at a time.
At a time.
at a time. So if you've done it for 1 hour in the morning, you can do again consciously 1 hour in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
My personal preference is that you try to do it whilst doing something else.
Just, yeah.
Supposing you're working on the computer, you can keep it at, right? And you can have it in such a way that you're breathing in rhythm and working on the computer. No? So
Yeah.
what we are doing in life, then it increases for so many hours.
Okay.
Many times when you'll wake up in the middle of the night, you'll see that automatically your breathing is in rhythm only. That means now the momentum is catching on. You get it? But consciously, no. Later on, I think he changed this. I'm pretty sure he changed it from 1 hour to 45 minutes. So it's not more than, but you can say initially you used to say 1 hour, so we can take it as 1 hour. That don't do it for more than an hour consciously.
Conscious.
Yeah. But
Okay.
you can then again have 2-3 sessions of 1 hour.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, the volume is okay.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, Alka.
Many scholars write voluminously on Om, what it is, and how to produce this pitch of Paranat. Om is only a symbol, a code. Try to understand this code. It says something. Try to hear it. If you cannot, then try not to play with it.
So we must reach a state where we can hear it. It is being said all the time, right? And that is why we are not saying Om. We are just creating a resonance near the nose, which if that resonance brings some kind of synchronicity, then instead of saying it, we will be hearing it.
It cannot be pronounced.
Rajan uncle, here, it says that then do not play with it. So, can you just, say what could be this play with it, which he is anticipating,
Yeah,
which
so
could be some mistake on our part?
you must have a certain type of purity before you're doing it. Right?
So, how can we understand that purity has come or not, or what way we can realize it?
What about quality of thoughts when I'm saying Omkar? Right?
Okay.
And if there are less thoughts and my attention is one pointed, nothing like that.
Okay. So the intensity of the thoughts or the nature of the thoughts plays a role there, right?
The quality of the thoughts is most important.
Okay.
And the intensity.
Okay.
Right? I can have a quality of a thought of revenge of somebody, but there's not much intensity. If it happens, it happens. Right?
Okay.
But there's quality of a thought of revenge, and that thought is not leaving me. Now the intensity is more. Then better I don't say Omkar because I'll be just increasing that intensity.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
It cannot be pronounced by either the mouth or the mind, for it is the symbol of Paranad.
Yeah.
By just repeating it, nothing happens. But one does run the risk of total mental derangement or physical nervous prostration if, by any chance or means, certain vibrations are aroused in a certain manner by its repetition.
So we must say it very, very softly and come down to where we are nearly not saying it so that we don't arouse any dangerous vibrations and we just allow the resonance to come to a pitch where and there may be moments where instead of saying it, we are hearing it.
With oral repetition, the human vocal cords will snap. And even if it is silent mental repetition, the brain will be damaged. Do not, without proper guidance, repeat Om. The risks are great and many.
Right. If people will go to the last question in Madhupur, where before he left Tavariaji, my question is on Omkar, and go through what he said about it. We are going to do it later, right?
Where is this? Is this archived somewhere, like a video or something?
I'll try to see if I can find it, then I'll have it put on the group. Yeah? It's in Gujarati, but
Hmm. So, what note or mantra could one utter to make body, mind, and senses feel this closeness and ableness of the divine fragment, to establish communication with the inner transcendental teacher, Ishwar?
right.
Only recently, on the upward arc in early substage 4, about 100,000 years before our time, have body and mind of rare individuals shown any response to the many and continuous coded promptings sent to the mind and brain.
Yes. So just about a lakh of years have happened since man's has reached that stage where he can hear the higher whispers coming in from the higher centers and the divine fragment, right? And that also in the rare individuals.
So, when he's talking about these coded promptings, is it something about the Morse code? Because somewhere in another lecture in this book, he had spoken about the binary and how that goes through the neural structure and creates connection.
So I won't what do you call talk about the Morse code or something, but the more we increase the energy of sensitivity, more we practice rhythmic breathing with sensitivity, the more we will be available to these higher promptings.
Okay.
So the more the sensitivity, the more we will be free from lower sentiment or emotions and thinking. And when there's a space created where there are no emotions or thinking and just pure sensitivity, then then these what you call promptings can be heard, they can be sensed, they can be felt.
Okay.
Hmm.
But we as a race are yet not able to respond because the body, mind, and senses are not yet on the same wavelength.
Yes, they are we are more interested in negative emotions.
And our spectrum of sight and sound has to improve very considerably first.
So the energy of sensitivity, which is behind the eyes and behind the ears, right? That has to be, but we are just now we have energy of sensitiveness. If the ear hears that somebody was talking about me, I'm more interested in that than in the energy of sensitivity.
This inability of our mind and body to respond has led some writers to describe what we call our waking state as sleep or a dream state,
Right.
because the mind and body are merely aware and aware of their own selves only, and our so-called self-consciousness is mere self-awareness.
So we can say in more in Gould's language that there is what do you call attention of the essential field of
Self.
the essential self, and there's attention of the machine, right? And what we call awareness is just attention of the machine, right?
Mm.
And the machine has stolen that attention from the soul. So then it becomes that is the attention of the essential self.
But essential self is also evolving, right? So it's still not consciousness, it's fragmented consciousness.
Till there are negative emotions, Mr. Tavaria says the essential self cannot evolve.
Yeah.
right? So till we have redeemed, then only is he given permission to evolve.
Right. It means that they are not aware and have no inkling that help is so near and that better help cannot be found anywhere in the universe.
Right. Right. Help is just next to us, but we don't know how to ask. Right.
A pity, what a pity indeed. What is worse is that after becoming aware that some signals are sent from within, asking for establishment of communication, even after this realization, the body and mind remain in the world only, thoroughly engrossed.
This is the most important thing, because if the signals come and if we hear them and we don't ignore them, then they will come after nearly 2,500 years. There'll be a kind of whole, what do you call, void of in space of punishment in between. So it's very important that if the signals have come, we have heard the signal, we've started the journey, and then suddenly we stop the journey and only are totally involved in life only and nothing of the work, then that signals will come after a very long time again.
How to bridge the gulf, not of language, but of the pitch of the sound. This is the basic problem, and unto that is the basic training.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right? Not of language, but of the pitch of the sound. Right? So you may have a, what do you call? Why is this coming in between, Ketan?
Because it's
Uh,
between two
yeah.
pages.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. You may, especially if you have a Parsi friend, the more he loves you, the more bad his language will be towards you. Right? So it is not of language, but it is of the pitch of the sound. This is too good. This sentence is too good. Okay, not what he's speaking, but hidden in the what he's speaking is the pitch of his sound. Does that contain revenge? Does that contain malice? Does that contain negativity? Does that contain jealousy? Does that contain what you call egoism? What is the pitch of the sound? Right? Some people, they talk in a very soft language, but you can make out that it's all nonsense because the in the pitch of the tone is totally ego in that. Right?
Mhm.
Then they say, look, I spoke to you so softly, you are not returning it. But how can you return it? The pitch of your sound just says how, what do you call,
Yeah.
how deprived you are inside of you. Right? So you can read that sentence again, I think. I think it's worth noting down this sentence.
Should I read the whole paragraph?
Yeah, yeah.
What is worse is that after becoming aware that some signals are sent from within, asking for establishment of communication, even after this realization, the body and mind remain in their world only, thoroughly engrossed.
Yeah.
How to bridge the gulf, not of language, but of the pitch of the sound. This is the basic problem, and unto that is the basic training.
Basic training is how to change my vibrational tone. Because in every word I speak is my vibrational tone. How to change that vibrational tone. That is the basic training. Right? It doesn't matter. I may be speaking the worst language, but if the vibrational tone is of love, then what difference does it make? Hmm.
To make body and mind responsive, many methods are advocated, and all over the world there are societies and associations, some even claiming sacred and secret rights.
Right. I mean, this is all, it's a big business, all of this. Yeah.
and of individuals who think they know there is no end.
Hmm.
Transcendental meditation is bottled like Coca-Cola and sold ready for consumption. A pity.
Everybody's talking about meditation. Nobody's talking about redemption. Redemption.
Besides, after ages and eternities of tamasic life, rude and brutish, in sub-stages 1, 2, and 3 of Wu up and down the arcs, the material of which the present body and mind are fabricated, are totally filled with tamasic matter and tamasic qualities.
This is our basic quality of our essence, the basic quality of the inner essential self. It is tamasic. Over the years, it has filled itself with tamasic qualities, right? It just does not want to wake up. It does not want to put its life on the line, right? It gets, attention gets fragmented, is attracted in so many different things, right? And he doesn't have that one-pointed attention to go after this, that I want to gain this at any cost, right? That white hot heat which Mr. Tavaria talks about, right? And it keeps on going all over the place, attention. Hmm.
And the habits long cultivated and indulged in of being and thinking, of eating and sleeping and sex are too deeply ingrained in us.
It's too deeply ingrained in us. Habits of thinking, eating, sleeping, and sex. So thinking center, and he's taken instinctive center. He's not talked about habits or emotions, right?
Hmm. We are, so to say, indoctrinated to a particular way of life and to memory patterns, also crude and brutal, of such daily living.
The memory patterns dictate our life, right? And we feel we have free will, but we don't have free will. The only free will we have is to be free of the memory patterns. And that there we are lazy, we are full of tamas. We don't want to do anything about that, right? So just we sit doing nothing.
This
Yeah,
mode of life, this deep-seated inertia,
this
is what is
deep-seated inertia, deep-seated inertia. It has to be worked upon. You have to work upon it. And only if we understand the value and we understand the urgency that this life is not enough to experience those whispers coming from the higher, right? This life is not enough for that to establish that communication unless you put your life on the line.
this mode of life, this deep-seated inertia, is what is considered normal life and even the right way to live.
Yeah. Deep certain. So we may be living a very happy-go-lucky life, enjoying life and everything. But that happy-go-lucky life also is a deep-seated inertia. We have not realized that there's something beyond life which has to be valued. In Gurdjieff language, we don't have a magnetic center.
So entirely new patterns have to be introduced. The re-education of the individual has to be brought about.
Again, three-step rhythmic re-education of the individual. The mind has to be re-educated. It has to be freed from the old matrix of what do you call memory patterns, and it has to be re-educated that there's nothing more important in life than the freedom of to be free of the soul to merge with the divine fragment.
But why must body and mind accept the new patterns as more correct? What has been so far considered traditional over the ages, why should it be denied and the old patterns set aside?
I mean,
Uh,
what has been considered traditional, has it worked or not? We have to see that. And because of that, we put the old patterns aside.
yeah, these are all buffers.
Yep.
Another factor is more overpowering. Even should mind and body desire to make the change, the tamasic, lethargic inertia of body and mind will not respond.
Will not respond. Will not respond. Yeah. You'll desire to make the change. You may even sit down to do something, and after 5 minutes, you'll start feeling the tamasic body will make you start have a yawn and feel sleepy, and you'll say, "I'll do it tomorrow." Right.
That is why we have mentioned that we must become biologically whole or complete.
The animal cells must be transformed into rhythmic cells.
To be free from this catastrophe of lethargy, let it not remain a mere wish. Sage Patanjali is so very aware of this ingrained tamas or inertia of body and mind, cautioning that even after an individual makes firm resolve and sincere efforts, the danger of relapsing or dropping back into the previous state of tamas is very great.
Yes. And we have that beautiful story of Nal and Damayanti, where in a small incident, Nal fell back, and then he had to go through such a long cycle of pain and suffering before he could again walk on the path again. Right.
So it's book 4, verse 27. Through force of habit, however, the mind will reflect other mental impressions and perceive objects of sensuous perception.
The mind is full of subliminal impressions. I get angry on you, it leaves a subliminal impression in the mind, which is called a memory pattern. And those memory patterns gather in political parties. And they then will force us to get angry more, force us to perceive objects of sensual, force us towards more excitement.
The whole body and the grey matter of the brain, every cell thereof, has to move forward, and the tremendous inertia stored in every tissue and cell gathered thus has to be overcome.
We have to overcome the inertia. So many people, they're doing 3-minute exercises, and then they say, "Now I'm not doing the exercises," and they don't realize what they've thrown away. They don't realize what they've thrown away. I mean, you reached a certain stage, and then through force of habit, the mental impressions and this thing, and then they have what you call all kinds of intellectual gymnastics. Uh, this is true with so many people, so many. I keep seeing them every day. So okay.
It
Rajan
takes
uncle,
time.
here, we must become biologically whole now. Here, is he referring to somewhere, this uh, awakening of all our centers and staying in the higher state of the all centers somewhere?
No,
So,
he's just talking of rhythm and harmony of the centers.
okay,
Right. Right. Then we can go forward from that. First of all the centers are not doing their own work, they're doing other centers' work.
right,
Right? So
right,
first of all, the balance between the centers. The second thing is that the mind will reflect other mental impressions. That is, the impressions are not allowed to reach the centers. They are immediately taken up by associations.
right,
So there's a whole network of associations. Centers are in imbalance, whole network of associations. So they send the wrong impression to the wrong center, the right
right,
impression to the wrong center.
right,
Right? So I may be taking a walk, but I suddenly start walking fast, right?
right,
But the moving center will send a wrong impression to the intellectual center, and I'll start thinking very fast on something, or I may start thinking of some exciting thing or something, right?
right,
So he was not, but there was a wrong connection, and that wrong connection is called an association. And we have thousands and thousands and thousands of these wrong connections, right?
right,
And they keep pulling us back. Every time we try to rise, they keep pulling us back.
right,
And we have to make an effort to jump over the river of what do you call association.
Right. Right. Thank you.
It takes time, and even after overcoming once or even many times, it is not over.
Yeah, once
Time and
association can pull us back.
Time and again, the body and mind will lapse into their previous grooves, the old lethargic, tamasic grooves.
Yes, will fall back. Will fall back. Right. See, you have to see tamas of thinking, right? I did the people who come. I did refining for 3 years, but nothing happened, right? Now this is tamasic thinking, wrong habit of thinking, right? And they don't understand that sometimes it's just round the corner and they've dropped it just before taking the last turn. Right? The Americans bombed and bombed Vietnam, right? And then when the, what do you call, Viet Cong were nearly out of weapons, they gave up and came back and they lost the war. And if they had stuck on for another 3 months, they would be out, enemy would have been out of weapons and they would have won the war. Not that it was a war worth winning or something.
Many aspirants feel guilty and consider it as fall and sin when they fail after making firm resolve in their well meaning efforts and feel depressed and sad.
See, all that it means, I am guilty, I am sad, I fall, I forget. All it means is that the bank balance of redemption is very great, which I have to pay off. That's all. I make an extra effort. Extra effort.
But we must try to understand properly what our mind and body, each birth finds a new body and mind, but based on old memory patterns, have gone through and how difficult the task is.
Yes. Each birth finds a new body and mind based on old memory patterns. So nothing is going to change. You are born at a certain floor in the building, you are going to be born in the same floor. You're not going to be born at a higher floor. Right? So that is a difficult task. And the task is much more difficult when we realize that nature is not interested in our. So it is our individual effort, and we have to work against the whole of nature because nature wants to pull us down. It doesn't want to help us. Yeah. Nature is very glad to see that we have food for the moon.
To be biologically complete requires a methodical and scientific approach. Mere sincere efforts but unmethodical will not help.
Yes. Methodical. Right? People do all kinds of gadgets, they do all kinds of computer programs, they hold all kinds of what you call discs in their hands, and this will help in consciousness. And the most simple thing is that there's nothing more important than three-step rhythmic breathing. Nothing more important. Right? And they don't understand that. You know. We are seeking more excitement. What is what is that which Mr. Gold gives, the orbs? Orbs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
orbs.
People, they message me that I'm using the orbs and I just laugh inside here. Okay, you don't want to do anything simple. You want to do something where the ego feels it is doing something, right? And they don't realize this. Yeah, go ahead.
We have noted that in an individual at this stage, the will is neutral or weak.
Will. See, these are three properties of the soul: consciousness, attention, and will, right? And when will is what do you call usurped by the machine, by the body brain system, then will gets fragmented into many eyes, which Gurdjieff calls. So then we don't really have will, because one eye's will is fighting against the will of another eye. So it neutralizes it. It's neutral or weak. We have what is called neutralizing will, right? One will fights with another will. One will says, I want to do this. One will says, I want to do that. One will says, I want to go for what's it called?
Vipassana.
Vipassana. Yeah, one will says, I want to go for Vipassana. And the simple thing is do three-step rhythmic breathing, which no one will do, because that will is very weak. Uh, and these exciting, I'm doing Vipassana. What a great, grand thing on the world scale I'm doing. Such a waste of time.
In the second stage, the will is intellectual only.
Will is intellectual. Now, my intellectual center has understood that this is what I want to do. So every time the emotional center tries to pull me away, at a certain point, the intellectual center pauses it and tells me, go back. Go back. So now there is no full cooking, there is half cooking. Some I may be carried away by my emotional center, I may be carried away by my sex center, but again the intellectual center intervenes. See, this is our understanding, this is what we value in life, and this is what we should be doing, and we come back. So from neutral will we come to intellectual will, and this intellectual will is a very, very powerful thing, very powerful thing. It understands that this will is a loan to the body brain system from the what do you call the soul. It belongs to the soul, and the soul wants to use the will for only one thing, to for it to rise in consciousness and become one with the what do you call spirit inside. Yeah.
In the second stage, the will is intellectual only, useful in the objective world of day-to-day living.
Yes. So we have intellectual world, which we can also call as willpower, right? And it is needed in the world. If I want to build a big business or earn a lot of money, I need willpower, right? With a weak will, I can't do anything. Neutral will, I can't do anything. Today I'll earn 5 rupees, and tomorrow another I will come up and say, money is useless. You don't need money for anything, right? Live a life without, go to an ashram, live a life without money. So intellectual will is very important in life.
So, one question, Rajan bhai, when we say dharna, is it only the intellectual process or a complete being alignment process?
Dharana is the ability to hold for a certain amount of time. Certain amount of time. So, supposing in this moment I am angry, can I hold that anger for without expressing it internally, or internally means in my thinking, right? Internally in my thinking and outwardly in my action, right? Can I hold it for that length of time till the anger itself now starts what do you call transforming into something else? There is a specific what do you call amount of time which you hold, and the negativity transforms into pure energy. The pattern goes away, and the energy which is locked in the pattern becomes available, right?
Yeah, I'm asking it because it's like yam, niyam, asana, dharna, dhyan. So dharna comes before dhyan. It's about like gathering this thing. So is there must be some kind of a will
Yes.
involved in.
There's a will, and it has to be a very relaxed will, not an aggressive will. And the will is full of understanding that that only by deep relaxation will I be able to hold.
So isn't intellectual will mostly uh, aggressive?
It will be more aggressive. And in today's world, it is very necessary in a way that if you want to achieve, then you need that intellectual will.
So is dharna only intellectual will, or is there more than will happening there?
Dharana is the
There's
beginning of spiritual.
spiritual.
Because if you're aggressive, if the muscles are tense, right? If
Yeah.
you have an objective that I want to achieve something, then it is not dharana. In dharana, there is no what do you call future moment. Can you
Yeah.
understand? There's
Yes, because
There has to be a relaxation in the present moment. The present moment is so beautiful that I'm relaxed in the present moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Shall we finish this paragraph?
Yeah.
And then if there are any,
Um,
we take the. Yeah.
refer to the definition of spiritual will given earlier.
Sabar, you better find that definition and bring it for the. For
So
the.
it's on page number 133.
Can we read it?
Yeah. Should I read?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please do.
Spiritual will is that quota of universal will which in any one individual enables the spiritual man to cooperate in the plan and purpose of the great life and thus be a partner with God and nature.
Beautiful. So the spiritual man, the soul inside, right? When the will belongs to him and he wants to use that will for his upliftment into the spirit, right? And so when he gets back that, and when he is directing the will, then it is spiritual will. But as long as our ego is directing the will, then it is neutral will and what do you call
Intellectual.
Intellect.
Intellectual.
intellect. But intellectual will can both be positive and negative. I mean, you can have a what do you call positive ego and a negative ego, right? Like Bhishma had tremendous intellectual will, right? But he would not do anything which was negative. He would not do anything which would specifically harm someone. That will was to protect Hastinapur.
So
Yeah,
dwell on this thought and you will realize your partnership with God Himself.
yes. So consciousness, attention, and will belong to the soul, and we have taken it away. We should learn to partner with the soul in the use of that. So when the machine uses it for life and the soul uses it for inner upliftment. Yeah, any questions anyway? We have 5 minutes more if anyone ask them to. Good. We are all very enlightened. Right. So,
Because of your teaching, sir.
no, no. You're not allowed to speak. Who allowed you to speak?
Thank you, boss.
Rajan, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
How do we stop associations?
Yeah, I can't understand. I think there's something wrong with your internet. Yeah. Who's speaking first?
How do
Shimal is
association?
trying to speak.
Shimal is trying to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we leave it
Shimal,
at that?
can you come again? There's some problem in your line.
We can't hear you, Shimal.
I have an internet issue here today, Rajan. So,
Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. We'll talk about it next time.
You say, Rajan uncle, that this dharana is something which is beginning of the spiritual will, and it comes from the deep relaxation. So, can we say this ATR is basically a first step towards getting that situation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
See, I cannot hold my anger.
Right.
I feel myself, it is pulling me and it's coming in my action.
Right.
Right? And I start tensing and relaxing my muscles, and that gives me the capacity to hold it.
Right.
So I'm changing intellectual will into spiritual will.
Right. Right. Right.
Hmm.
Thank you.
What to do about associations? And the only way to work with associations is self-observation. And I'll give you what I used to do. I used to walk in the farm, or you can say walk in the garden instead of farm. We can. And I used to observe how my thoughts would change with my style of walking, how my feelings would change with my thinking, and how feelings would bring on certain thoughts and certain tenseness in my muscles or in my speed of walking. So in this, I realize the connections between all of them. And so this is a very simple, go for a walk in the garden, right? Then start walking a little faster and immediately observe your thoughts and feelings. And you'll see that an association has rung them up and said that he's walking fast. Think of sex, think of excitement, think of a new movie in town, right? And suddenly, but the observation has to be done as if from behind a pillar, a very, very non-action kind of action. The minute the thoughts and feelings know you're observing, they'll vanish away. No aggressive observation. So I would tell Shimal first to work on 3-step rhythmic breathing, do tense and relax the muscles, let the aggressiveness calm down a little, and then go for a walk and start observing what's happening inside. Yeah. Anything else, anyone? Thank
Nishit,
you.
sir, Nishit unmuted himself, so I don't know whether he's
Is
still
he still
here.
there?
No. It's
Okay.
by mistake.
Okay.
Okay. Right. We'll meet now next Sunday. Yeah.
Ji,
Thank
sir.
you, Rajan bhai.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Jai Bhagwan, Rajan bhai.
Jai Bhagwan. Jai Bhagwan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.